We're joined today by Bill Leverty. He's the founder and guitarist for the band FireHouse. FireHouse is coming to the Medina Entertainment Center on February 10th. They're going to be playing with The Sweet. Bill, how's it going today?
Hey, Dustin. Doing fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. It was really nice of you to have me on the show to pump up the show at the Medina, man.
Yeah, let's talk about that. It's coming up on February 10th, and you guys got quite a few other shows throughout the year as well, but the big one here for Minnesota coming up February 10th at the Medina Entertainment Center.
We love the Medina Entertainment Center, and anybody who's thinking about coming, what I would recommend is they got the hotel right next door. It's a great hotel, and they got the restaurant right there. It's an awesome restaurant. They got a bowling alley there, and they got a rock and roll show right there too. So it's go in there, make a weekend of it, or make at least a night of it, and get a hotel. Yes, I get a room, but you get a room, you get a great dinner, get bowl a few frames, and then come up and rock and roll. It's a fun night. We're playing with our great friends, The Sweet, who we love. The Sweet. They're just huge influence on us, with Fox on the Run and Ballroom Blitz, Love is Like Oxygen. I mean, some of the greatest songs ever written. And a real honor to be able to play with those guys.
Yeah, it's definitely great. For you guys, I'm sure you've done just about everything and been all over the world, but playing with Sweet, I mean, you guys got to be maybe a little starstruck when you see those guys.
Yeah, love them, and we've done several shows with them in the past, and And oddly enough, when we were in 1992, we toured with a band over in England. Actually, I should say Europe. A band called Status Quo. Over there, they're called Status Quo. But Status Quo, who over there at the time in 1992 had sold 111 million records, and their manager. And 111 million records is a lot of records for everybody out there. It's no comparison to, I mean, maybe the Stones. They're as big as the Stones over there, this band Status Quo. And they never toured over here, but the guy who was their manager also managed The Sweet. And so, yeah, I mean, all those songs from my childhood, and I covered some of them, and just great musicianship, great vocals, and great song. So, yeah, it's a real honor to be on the stage with those guys.
And it's awesome the bands who, first had big success in the 80s and into the early 90s, really in demand again and playing shows all over. I think people still really love the bands from that era and just that whole time period. It's kind of a feel-good era for a lot of people now. It
really is. It feels good to listen to the Sweet. To me, and it's interesting that you would say that. I mean, I sit on the side of the stage and I just watch them, and it does just make you feel good. And it's not just reliving your youth. It is something about the music that they've gotten, the energy in those songs that just makes you feel good. It lifts you up, and I really love that. That is a really great way to say it, the way you just said it.
And again, that show coming up February 10th at the Medina Entertainment Center. And I know you guys had another Minnesota show coming up in June, the Kickin' Up Country Fest in Carlstadt. A lot of the other shows you have this year, you're sharing the bill with bands like Warrant and Tesla and Bret Michaels. It's cool that all you guys are still out there making it happen.
Well, we're really lucky, and without the fans' support, we wouldn't be able to do it. So I really, encourage the fans to get your ticket early, so you can go. Okay, I'm set. I'm set for that night. We're going to have a good time. We're making plans now, and we're going to go out and we're going to have a good time. And yeah, we do get to play with a lot of those other bands that we love. We're lucky that the bands that are out there still doing it are all cool, and we all get along with them really well, and we love touring with them. And you mentioned Bret. I mean, we're going to play with Bret, in a few weeks. And we get to play with Warrant probably 10 shows a year, and we get along with those guys great. And they were like our first big tour. When we went out with our first record, we got to go out with them when they were, supporting Cherry Pie and Heaven. And, so it's been a great run that we've had. And we owe it all to the fans who said, hey, I like this music. I want to support the music. And we're hoping that they'll come out and party with us at the Medina Entertainment Center, February 10th. It's going to be a good party.
Definitely. Bill, can you talk a bit about your relationship with CJ Snare and Michael Foster? I mean, you guys have been together for almost 40 years now. It's kind of uncommon for bands of that era that you came up in to still be together after all these years.
Yeah, it sounds like, it feels like yesterday where I met those guys, but then you add up the years and it's like, wow, that feels like we're old. Although I don't feel old. My lower back aches a little bit sometimes. My knee gets a little bit sore sometimes. But so Michael Foster and I were in this band called White Heat, and we go out and play venues here in Richmond, Virginia, and every now and then this band would come to town called Max Warrior, and we went to see them, and we really liked them, especially their singer and their bass player, and so both bands kind of broke up at the same time, and we started a new one, and we asked CJ to join up with us, and asked Perry later to join up with us, and we had kept the name White Heat, but then we got a record deal actually, and then we had to change the name because there was already a White Heat that had registered at the trademark office. But you are with people for this long, and they become your family. It's a brotherhood like no other. I mean, we know each other. We know what everybody's going to say before they say it, and we know what everybody's going to play before they play it. I've been playing with Michael, since 1984, and we went through a lot. We all slept on floors, and checked 8 people into a single hotel room to play a gig, and went, and definitely paid our dues. And so I think we appreciate it more because we went through, quite a bit to be able to play gigs for this long. So it's great seeing everybody have families, and some of us have grandchildren, and it's just a wonderful life that we've been given, and that our fans have made possible by supporting us for this many years.
In those early years, FireHouse was big right out of the gate with your first album. That must have been a crazy time for you. I mean, you guys were still practically kids when all that was taken off.
We were, and we still feel like we're the same kids. We're just like I said, we got a few more wrinkles, and we're a few more aches and pains, but we still think the same way in a lot of ways, and we might have learned a few things along the way. But back in the old days, we'd before we got our record deal, we'd hop in a van and then drive that van for 400 miles or whatever to get to the next gig and play it. And now we hop on a plane and Delta Airlines takes us to where we go. Then we hop in a van and go, let's say from the Minneapolis airport up to Medina, Minnesota, to play the Medina Ballroom Entertainment Center. So it's a little bit of a change as far as where we're not really on our schedule. We're more on Delta Airlines schedule, but we still get to rock out, and that's the greatest feeling, and why we got into this business is because we love to play live. That's the most fun you can ever have when you're a musician, is playing live and having the fans be there and rock with you.
And I know you guys really continued to do well into the 90s, even after trends kind of changed and grunge came in. FireHouse was one of those few bands still having success on the charts. I mean, you guys weathered the storm.
Well, we got lucky. We had a good record company that was behind us. We had great fans that were behind us, and our previous trips to radio stations, we made friends along the way there too. We stuck true to our roots of melodic hard rock, but still being, we like to slow it down every now and then and have the people slow dance out there and grab your sweetheart and that kind of thing. So we stayed true to our roots, and I think really the reason we did that was because we just didn't feel like we'd be very good at doing anything else. We could maybe pull some things off, but we knew that if we just did what we wanted to do, it would come out best, and we'd be happy with it. So we always made our recordings to please ourselves, and fortunately, the fans have stuck with us.
Definitely. I want to ask you, Bill, I know that's kind of the joke, we're big in Japan, but FireHouse was really, I mean, you guys had a huge fan base in Japan, I mean, really since you guys started. Is there a reason for that, do you think, or is it just something that clicks with that audience?
I guess I don't know. The first time I went over there, I was just in awe of their culture, and then sound check before our first show. They were so organized, and the engineers were so good, and the techs were so good, and the food was so good, and we were like, wow. Then we played, and the audience would just go nuts while we were playing, like we'd never seen before. And then in between songs, you could hear a pin drop. They were so quiet. So it was just the most amazing thing we had never seen. We recorded that first show live with to video. Actually, it's called Rock on the Road, and we shot that. It's a Sony release. Our first time in Japan, we recorded that show, and released it as a video. And then, we kept going back, and the people kept coming back, and it's just a great country. We recorded a live album there, and I don't know. I mean, they're so passionate about their music, and we hit at a time where I guess this music of this genre was doing well over there, and they stick to it over there. So yeah, it's cool, and I think there are a lot of places like that. And I think America is a little bit like that, but I think the industry kind of pulls you away a little bit from where your roots were as a listener, and that's kind of what happened in the, I'd say, late '90s and then early 2000s. But there were stations that still played our music, and they would have like an hour of hair band music or hair metal or something, and those shows that these stations would play would be their number one show on their station. Meanwhile, they were playing other bands, whatever was happening at the time, but the people didn't go away. They still love this music, and that's a testament to the fans sticking with their bands that they like and wanting to feel good. Like you said, like if it's music that makes you feel good, you kind of gravitate towards it. And so we've been lucky that we're still being played, and we're still rocking.
Awesome, man. Well, again, you guys are on the road here, coming to the Medina Entertainment Center February 10th, playing with the Suite. And Bill, I know it's been about 20 years, I think, since the last FireHouse album. I know you've done a lot of solo stuff in between there, but could we see maybe another FireHouse album sometime down the road?
We would love to. We all want to do it. We just gotta get in there and get to work. So hopefully soon.
Excellent. Well, again, the show is coming up here, and then again coming to the Kicking Up Country Fest later this summer in Minnesota. Is there anything else maybe you're working on, or something else we should be watching out for?
Well, I mean, I still do music on the side. I put out a song called "Hey Mama." You can go to my website and download that one. It's Leverty.com, and click on it, and it's kind of a summertime song. So if it's really cold and you want to feel that summer vibe, listen to "Hey Mama."
Excellent. Awesome, man. Again, it's been an honor speaking with you, and I'm looking forward to the shows here. Thank you again for your time,
The honor
Bill.
is mine. Hey, buddy. All right. See you soon. Thank you.
And again, that was Bill Leverty from FireHouse, and they'll be coming to the Medina Entertainment Center in Minnesota on February 10th. And also they'll be playing at the Kickin' Up Country Fest in Carlstad coming up this June.